Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Deskside Chats podcast presented by the City of Northport. My name is Madison Hyde, and I'm the Deputy Communications Manager for the city. Everyone has a story, right? In this podcast, I'll be learning the stories of our employees right here in the City of Northport. Join me as I chat with folks from all walks of life across departments and divisions. We're building a community of unity. Get to know the staff working for you every day. Now let's lean in and chat desk side. Hong Kong, Antigua, Pennsylvania, Trinidad and Tobago, Suriname. What do all these places have in common? They are just some of the countries and states Stormwater Manager Elizabeth Wong has lived in. Listen into her story growing up and gaining a love for water quality and conservation early on. Her passion is contagious. You'll see. Let's get into it. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hi, Madison.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining us. So let's start it off with learning the origin story of Elizabeth Wong. So I know you were born in Hong Kong?
I was born in Kowloon, Hong Kong.
Okay, and what was it like growing up there? Because I know that that's an interesting mix of cultures in one little area, right?
Well, it's pretty much Chinese Cantonese at that time, and it was under British rule.
Okay.
Communist China took it back over in 1997. So I was gone way before then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only spent my first 7 years of my life there.
Got it. And so does that mean you speak Cantonese now?
I can speak a little bit. I can understand a lot more, but over time you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I still have a little bit of Chinese accent left, if you can tell.
Well, of course, if you're born there, I'm sure it would hang around. So then after that, after Hong Kong, you left when you were young, and then you ended up on a couple different continents.
Yes.
So tell me, how did that happen? How did you move around so much?
We left when there was a lot of unrest in Hong Kong. Bombings all the time, call home from school. So we decided to leave, and my father's a doctor, and we landed up in Suriname, Paramaribo, which is Dutch speaking, no English, and that was trying.
And that's in South America?
South America.
Okay, yeah.
And he tried for a while to learn the language and practice medicine, but he just couldn't handle the language. Of course, we became fluent.
Of course.
Then we went back to the English-speaking countries such as United States and the Caribbean.
Yes.
He loved the Caribbean.
Yeah, and that's what I saw you said was that's the longest at Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago, the beautiful island of Tobago, is where I spent most of my growing up years.
Oh, okay.
It's, Robinson Crusoe?
Yes.
That's where it's filmed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that beautiful island.
Oh, wow, I believe it. So that's how that works, huh? Trinidad and Tobago are two separate
islands, one country. Correct.
Got it. Okay. So just tell me a little bit more. I know nothing about Trinidad and Tobago. I took the time to, for some reason, memorize every country of the world at one point, and I was always fascinated by Trinidad and Tobago. I didn't know
Trinidad and Tobago, if you look at the hurricane tracker, that's where the hurricane starts.
Oh, no.
It's not big yet, so it's great.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little bit, and, the biggest the wind goes is 60 miles an hour, so it gets a lot of rain. So it's nice and green. You can grow anything there.
Sure, yeah.
And it's your typical beautiful Caribbean island. That's Tobago.
Okay.
Beautiful beaches and lots of tourism. And what hurt me to see is the tourism and the lack of wastewater treatment there is hurting the beautiful coral reefs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think that kind of segues into what I wanted to do when I grow up is
Absolutely.
to, fix the world, protect water quality, do something for preventing all the algae growing on the reefs and killing them.
Yeah, and that makes sense if you spent your formative years in a place that's surrounded by water. That would make you pretty passionate about it, I'm sure.
I love water. I love fishing. I love snorkeling. I love boating, kayaking, all those things.
All the water stuff.
Yeah.
So what kind of water stuff would you do in Tobago?
Oh, definitely a lot of snorkeling and fishing.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there was a lot to see and.
Oh, it's gorgeous, but I went back after several years of being away, and I was devastated the coral reefs that were giant, that used to scare me to death, when I look at them, the huge giant staghorn coral, they're gone. In this place, white little pieces on the bottom of the seafloor. It's
so
sad.
sad.
Yeah, that's one of the things I would like to do when I retire, is go back and help with, water quality, maybe build a wastewater plant.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. They'd be super
nice.
Lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then how did you transition into the stormwater thing? Did you go to school for this type of thing, or how did you get to this type of role?
Okay, I wanted to do something for the environment, so I went to I did chemistry and major and microbiology minor in the University of West Indies, where education was pretty good and it was free.
Well, that's nice.
Then I went to Princeton for the Center for Environmental Studies and did a stint there for a year.
Okay.
And the professors I was supposed to work with there ups and left after 1 year and told me they were doing their own consultant. So I said, I'm not staying.
Okay.
You guys are leaving.
Right.
So I went to USC, which had a really great USC, Southern California,
Yep.
where it's warm because I come from warm.
Right.
Princeton,
Sure,
Princeton was a shock to me.
No way. Yeah.
So in USC, they had a wonderful environmental engineering program. And that's where I got my master's.
Yeah.
And I think my combination of chemistry and environmental engineering is great for what I wanted to do. And this is how I landed up in Northport.
That's what I was going to wonder next. How did you end up in, I know you've been to so many different places and lived so many places. How did you end up in Florida? Was it because of the job or was it other reasons?
Number one, it's warm here.
Okay.
That's a trend here, warm.
Factor. Okay, got it.
I love Florida. My parents was here. I came to visit, fell in love with it, and decided, hey, I want to move to Florida.
All right. Well, that made it simple. Right. I did that for the same reason. My parents moved here, and then I moved here from Wisconsin. Talking of
Wisconsin's
getting away from cold weather, that was the worst of the worst. So all right. So then tell me about a day-to-day in your job. What are you? So what's your title? Let's start with that.
My title is a Stormwater Manager, and I'm under Public Works, and I do all the stormwater design reviews for development, make sure that they're done correctly, and practice the best possible low impact development concepts. Let me explain is, stormwater typically goes down into the ground, until mankind puts all this asphalt and concrete and buildings on it. So LIDs is low impact development, is basically get the water back in the ground where it belongs and not flood everybody out.
Right.
And all the pollutants like oils and grease and silt runoff and nutrients, get it back down in the ground. The grass can use those nutrients.
Sure.
Right? And there's bacteria naturally occurring in the ground that can degrade pollutants. So that's something that I hammer on in development, and we have some regulation on it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And I think it's great to have someone, with your history and passion for water in general, to have somebody like you in that sort of position because that can be a pretty, kind of pragmatic, sort of straightforward. It's great to have the history of passion for it to go along with doing it. That's wonderful.
I also do a lot of water quality sampling programs here in Northport, making sure that we, at least meet the regulatory requirements. If not, what else we need to do.
Right, how to enhance it.
Yeah. I also, of course, manage all the flood information questions. I manage the NPDES program, which is basically a long acronym for National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System. Basically, get rid of pollutants.
Got it.
A lot of things we need to do. Public outreach is one.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to count this as a public outreach.
Absolutely it is.
People, please, we got to protect our water. You know? Don't throw anything outside. Put it in the garbage bin. Your dog poo. Pick it up. Put it in the garbage bin.
Scoop the poop. We had our little
Scoop the poop.
campaign for that through Parks and Rec.
Everything in Northport lands up in our waterways.
Right.
And a lot of Northport gets city water. We take the same water that's in our canals, which is your runoff from the storm, and treat it, and we send it back to people to drink. So, gotta protect it.
Definitely. And we have a bunch of canals in the city, right? Many miles of
canals.
Yes,
almost 80 miles of canals and creek.
Yeah, I've heard that. Is the stat true, or the fun fact true, that we have more canals than Venice, Italy? Is that a thing?
I think so.
That would make sense.
Our canals are certainly cleaner than those in Venice, Italy.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure with all the tourism there.
I've been there. It's awful there.
Oh, you've seen it.
Oh, yeah. And they get flushing, too, with the sea. We don't get flushing. It's just, fresh water with all these structures that acts like dams before it hits tidal, right?
Right. Sure.
So we don't have seawater flushing our canals that much, right?
Yeah,
At least not the fresh water.
Yeah,
We have just
exactly.
rain flushing, right? So people,
Got it.
please don't use fertilizers if
Yeah.
definitely you don't need to pollute the water anymore. They just
Right.
get washed into our canals.
And we do have some kind of fertilizer ordinance in place
Oh,
now, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually wrote the fertilizer ordinance
Then
back
I guess you'd know about it.
in 2007. We wrote it, and we have one of the earliest municipalities that adopted it. So that says something for Northport.
That's great,
Right?
yeah.
It's
Setting a
it's
precedent.
very strict. Cannot fertilize grass during the rainy season, and if you are allowed to fertilize during the non-rainy season, right,
Yeah.
which is after September 30th. Right now we're in the rainy season, June 1st to September 30th. After September, you can fertilize, but please, you don't really need to. Let the weeds grow. Just trim it nice and even.
Yeah.
It look good,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can survive a little
Nitrogen's
bit
a
with
big-
a couple
yeah.
weeds. Yeah.
Nitrogen's a big bad boy here.
Yeah.
It causes algae blooms that you wouldn't believe. I've been dealing with it this year.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We also have a resolution that encourage people voluntary not to fertilize entire year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that entail?
Well, it's a resolution. Hey, we have a problem. Let's try to minimize or not even fertilize at all.
Sure.
Because it does run off.
So
into
it's like
the water.
a suggestion or a plea kind of
Right.
deal, right?
Right,
Okay.
right.
There's no requirements there. Just saying,
Not a
hey,
requirement. The requirement though is a fertilizer ordinance where there's a restricted season.
Right.
June 1st to September 30th.
Sure.
Personally, I think that should be extended because we're getting rains in May, and everybody's
Yeah.
fertilizing in May.
Right.
And then the rains early rains in May washes it all into the canal and big old green water, green. Shouldn't
Yes.
be green. It should be nice and clear brown.
Right. Yeah, and I've been noticing this is not to do with here, but I know that you also spend time in Charlotte County. That Punta Gorda had some smelly waters even just in the harbor. I don't know what that was due to, but it smelled awful.
It's
We don't have to get into that. But
well, I live on the Mayaka River.
okay.
Right.
Okay. yep.
Sometimes in it. I'm that close.
Yeah.
The water comes up sometimes
Right
in my
to your front
garage.
door, yeah.
Right. And I eat the fish. I wish I could eat the oyster. I probably shouldn't, but but I eat the fish raw, like Spanish mackerel I catch right in the river right in front of me.
That's amazing.
So I really have a passion to protect that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, and then speaking of, so back to when you said you've been to Venice, you've also been to a ton of other places,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so now let me ask you. I don't know if this is even able to be answered, but I'm a big foodie. I need to know, was there like a favorite destination
Oh yes.
food-wise?
Yes.
What is it?
Thailand. Thailand. Everybody need to go check out Thailand. Oh my God, the food there is amazing. Amazing and cheap.
Yeah,
And the people are friendly. And most
That's
of them
lovely.
speak English.
that's helpful too.
But
Yeah.
they need to do something about their rivers. Their rivers are awful.
they're bad too.
They're like gutter.
Elizabeth, you just
gutter
gotta go
water.
like live in a ton of different places and fix all their water. You
I
can
wish
start
I
in
could.
Tobago and then you can go to.
I wish I could.
So, what's your favorite dish there in Thailand? Do you have one, or just in general?
I absolutely love all the dishes. The spicier, the better. I can't even say it in English,
Yeah.
Of course, pad thai is my favorite. And,
Right.
And I have mastered pad thai.
Have you?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll be over for dinner sometime soon.
Secret ingredient.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Secret ingredient. Palm sugar and tamarind sauce.
It's not so secret anymore, Elizabeth.
Okay. Actually,
But-
you can Google it.
I'll bleep it out so you don't have to. Just kidding.
No.
So, do you have any? Have you found any local? Is there anything in Northport that's Thai right now?
Northport Thai, not
Not
too
yet?
much, but there's a good Thai restaurant, couple one in Port Charlotte.
Okay.
I actually have some Thai food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's pretty good too.
Because I've heard of. I've heard of. Is it Nan's?
Nan's Thai noodle is
I have
very
eaten
good.
there.
Her drunken
Yeah.
noodle is great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now I just
Her
want
pad
to.
thai is great, and her drunken noodle is very good.
I've been talking about this. Right now we're recording in the morning, and I am just ready to eat everything now. This is not good. Okay, so then how about like a favorite place you've traveled, like views wise, like, landscape wise? Is there one that was the most beautiful to you, or breathtaking, Mountains, water.
It's Costa Rica.
Oh.
Costa Rica. Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
They know how to protect the environment. We can learn from them.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're still third world country, but we can certainly learn from them. It takes an act of God for anybody to kill a tree there. They have to build a house around a tree.
Oh my goodness.
We stayed in places where there's a tree in the bathroom.
Oh my god.
It's wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's so cool. So they're like wow. Okay.
Yeah. And they protect their environment. Their water's clean. There's no garbage.
That sounds lovely.
They've got beautiful beaches and gorgeous mountains, greenery, and of course they've got the volcanoes and.
Wow, so they just have everything, kind of.
They've got a lot of things.
Yeah. That sounds wonderful.
I hope the tourism there doesn't kill it.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see. We seem to be doing a good job of that as a human race in many different places. So hopefully, we can start to stem that a little bit.
I don't want to make it seem like we're doing a bad job.
Sure. Right.
Compared to a lot of places I've been, we're very good about picking up garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, I say, pick up your garbage, but if you look around, there's not piles and piles, at least not in Nordport.
Right.
And the canals are relatively clean.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's keep it that way.
Absolutely. And you're doing a good job of helping to keep it that way. So, all right. So now, speaking of landscapes, this is a weird transition. It's not really a transition. Let's talk about gardening. You love gardening. You help with our garden here at the city.
Our
community
city
garden. Right.
By Mullen Center,
Yeah, so you're into the tropical fruit trees. I know of your mangoes because I've had some of your mangoes.
Actually, I have some right here. I was going to bring some over.
She brought mangoes. Be jealous. Be jealous. I'm going to take some home. Thank you for doing that. So I was going to say, I've heard of the Elizabeth Wong mangoes already.
And I love fresh herbs.
Oh.
Am I saying all right? Herbs.
Yes, you are. It's perfect.
Oh,
so,
God.
So do you have a whole bunch of them?
I have all the key ones, and I have it right there, right outside my front door, so I can easily pick them.
Oh, that's so nice.
I mean, it's not hard to grow these things, you know. And rather than getting dry herbs, use fresh herbs. It's probably healthier for you.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Yes, so good. I like to do like a little basil in my salads.
Very good. Yeah.
So good. Yeah. And then so on the hobby topic, I saw some of your dance videos. I need to know what got you into dancing, in your adult years more than many people grow up from when they're 7 going to their little classes.
I always wanted to do some sort of ballet dance when I was young, but moving around so much and we weren't that rich when we were young, so that didn't happen.
Sure.
So I went to Gulf Coast Methodist Church, very close to where I live. And they had a dance team there called In His Steps.
Oh, wow.
It's a very cool name, In His Steps.
Yeah.
And the lady there who's in charge, there was 6 people in that troop. She was getting older, and she says, Elizabeth, join us. And by the way, would you mind taking over? So I found out that I wasn't too left-footed.
Right, yes.
So it was pretty good. And when you do a dance, it's like an interpretation of the words of the song. It really is a great way to add more meaning to the song.
Right, sure.
And it's more like a lyrical thing we do. And it's whatever your imagination, go with the words, right?
Right.
I make it all up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's why it's called interpretive, right?
Interpretive,
it's how you
interpret it. Mm-hmm. And I constantly do a reality check, does it really add to the song,
Right.
And
that's amazing. How long have you been doing it?
Oh, I'm going to give away my age. Probably the last 15 years or so.
Okay, yeah.
And then gradually, unfortunately, my team got smaller and smaller because they get older and older and they move away. Now I'm the only one, so...
Oh.
So I do solos.
I was going to say, so you're a solo dancer.
It's easier when you solo dance because you can make it up as you go along even if you screw up, right? Whereas in a group dance, you can tell when you're out of step,
it's
right?
It's obvious, yeah, right.
But it's so nice if I had a group.
Yeah, well, maybe if this gets out to the right people, they might end up... And you said which church?
The United Methodist Church. And okay. The dances are easy. I put quite a few of them on YouTube.
Yes, I've seen them. Beautiful.
Yep, and I wish people would copycat it, and do it in their churches too.
Right, it's something different, keeps people engaged, I'm sure.
And it helps me understand the whole meaning of of the song and, the
Sure.
religion and God being there for me.
Right.
In my darkest hours,
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's super important. I know a lot of
That's
people
really
lean
important.
on that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have like 3 wrap-up questions. Do you watch TV?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite TV show, either of all time or right now?
I have to confess, I actually watch more YouTube and Netflix than
I've
TV.
been there. Okay, Netflix counts. Netflix counts. Is there a Netflix show? TV show, or is it more like documentary movie stuff that you watch?
I've watched all the good ones,
Okay.
and I don't know of any more good ones out there, so...
Yeah. Well, what's been your most recent one that you watched that you enjoyed, that you've gotten through?
You're going to ask me that.
Well, it's not fair that I put you on the spot because I'd never watched TV shows. I watch like cooking shows and documentaries, so it's okay.
Actually, my favorite TV show is American Ninja.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
That's a great choice.
Yeah.
That is so great because that combines, like, obviously the physical feat, but all their stories and how inspiring it is for them to get there.
It does.
Yeah.
Whatever they're going through, and then they overcome it,
Right.
all the injuries, and then they hit that buzzer, and like,
I know.
wow, they can do it. Maybe I can
And the
do
whole
something
fam-
too,
I bet you could knock it out on the American Ninja. Get in your application tape. All right, so now, any favorite movies? Or you just enjoy them whenever?
Yeah, whenever.
Okay, there isn't a top favorite.
No.
Okay, that's okay, because before, when I interviewed Brittany from Neighborhood Development, she said she does not watch any TV or movies. So my question really backfired on that.
Yeah.
Okay, now, last one. Sorry.
I spend most of my time on hobbies, gardening, and
Oh,
jewelry
sure.
making.
That's right, jewelry. That's
I
right.
make
Tell me about your
jewelry.
jewelry, yes.
Okay, so we had a challenge here in Northport.
Mm-hmm.
Department against department, who can raise the most money, right, for American Cancer Society.
Mm-hmm.
Very good cause. This was a couple years ago. And, I decided, okay, I'm going to make brownies. Guess what? I made 30 pieces of brownies. I sold them for $1 each, and I made $32. So
You got a tip?
2 people feel sorry for me. So I'm like, all night, and a couple hours selling it to friends who are all on diet,
Yeah,
That's
right.
not going to cut it,
Yeah.
So a friend of mine who had cancer, every time she feel good, she would have parties and to make things. And one was jewelry using dichroic glass. This is a special glass that's real pretty, and it can melt at a certain temperature. And you cut it, and you arrange it, and you melt it, and you get these wonderful pieces of jewelry. So I thought, why don't I do that and try to make some money for the Cancer Society? So
Right.
I did that, and I, of course, sold it to our friends in Northport here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually able to make clear net profit
Yes.
for the society of $260.
That's amazing.
That's a lot better than $30.
That is a lot better than
$32.
$32.
Yeah, right. And so I've kept doing that, and I found that I have so many friends who have cancer, and so now I don't sell them. I just make them as gifts to cheer them up.
Absolutely.
And so if you know of somebody who needs some cheering up, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll
oh,
make
that's
them another set,
wonderful. And
whatever
she's-
color they want.
And you guys can't see, but she's wearing a beautiful piece right now.
Fish
Fish.
in the shape of a fish.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
so pretty. It's like it's almost looks like color shifting, but it's just beautiful work. Yeah.
These are things that I think little joys in life that make me happy. So
Yeah.
that's what counts.
That's what matters most, definitely. Yeah.
You don't have to be Mother Teresa.
Right.
I hope I don't have to be Mother Teresa,
So
but
you're doing your best.
If
That's
you do
what matters.
something that makes people happy,
Right.
it'll make you happy too.
There's no better way to end it than that, I think. So I really appreciate you coming on, Elizabeth. Thanks for chatting with me. And I will see all of you next week for our next Deskside Chat. See you later.
Bye.